We were fishing and we came back from a fishing trip. We pulled into the driveway and there was a car there, and Grandma and Grandpa, they sent me off and said that they were going to talk to them first. And I came back in and they explained the situation, what was going on, said that there had been a crash and that they couldn't find my father.
And I remember going to the door and seeing all the guys that I knew first name basis that were, you know, friends, and they were in full uniform and being like, well, hey, and not understand, not even thinking that, and them asking, you know, well, we need to talk to your mom, and just very normal conversation. And going into the living room, and I remember my sister coming and sitting next to me, and I think she understood, because the next thing we heard was our mom start crying.
The Special Operations Warrior Foundation is here for the Special Operations community, and we realize the difficulties a family face when they lose a loved one. They've lost a role model for their children, and we want to be there to help in any way we can.
He was killed in '96 when I was 7 years old. I don't remember too much about him, but I know he was a great person. He made everyone else around him a better person as well. He's just a good guy to be around, overall good guy.
He enlisted in 1978 right out of high school, and enlisted right into the Rangers from the very beginning, and just loved it. He was adventurous from the time he was a young boy, and very patriotic, loved this country, and that was all he ever really wanted to do.
Well, being a Ranger is special in itself. He wanted to be the best, wanted to be, you know, elite, and I try to follow in those same footsteps to be the best I can be as well. Because being an Army Ranger isn't an easy thing, and obviously it gets harder when you lose someone as well.
I remember doing so many activities. We would always be out doing something. He ran a lot, so we would get on our bikes and follow him pretty much wherever he went. We'd be gone for hours out on base or just around the community, just following him on our bikes. And we would even, we would skip school sometimes and go to post and hang out. And he had this, it was a chin-up bar in the door frame of his office, and we just thought it was the coolest thing, and my sister and I would hang from it. And come to find out, that was actually used as punishment for the guys.
The Special Operations Warrior Foundation has made a commitment to the members of Special Operations community that if they lose their life while in combat or in training, we will provide their children with a 4-year college education. That's to include room, book, tuition, fees, and expenses to the college of their choice. In addition, the Special Operations Warrior Foundation will provide the family of our wounded funds to be at the hospital at bedside when they're needed the most.
Special Operations Warrior Foundation is great. They funded my education. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. They've given me so many opportunities that I wouldn't have been able to have if they weren't here. So Special Operations Foundation is wonderful, and I appreciate them very much.
Being able to walk across the stage, get my diploma, and not have to start immediately thinking, how am I going to pay all this back, or how am I going to do, you know, how am I going to finish, you know, start a career with all of this debt. And so knowing that I didn't have that was just a huge relief, and enabled me to focus on getting my career, figuring out what it really was I wanted to be as an adult.
The Special Operations Warrior Foundation is my family. They are so much to me. They support me, they love me. You know, my dad's not here to do that, and they won't replace him, nothing will. But they do everything to their capability to not only give me an education, but to make sure I have the support system to help me through college as well.
The dollars that help go in to support this foundation are allowing these children to do something they probably, many of them, could have never been able to do, and carry on the legacy of these soldiers that gave their lives for this country.
To describe in words how much it really means to myself, and I know to other students, because it's showing that, you know, just because our parents have been killed and are not here, that we're not forgotten.
What makes us different is that we're proactive. We send Christmas cards, birthday cards, invite the children and families to special events, all trying to keep in contact with the family so they know that we'll be there to provide them for their post-secondary education. In addition, we have counselors, and their primary job is to stay in contact with that family. They provide any information that those families might require of us.
My name is Lisa Nance, and my husband is Randy Nance. He is a Green Beret. He was injured December 22nd, 2006. Randy sustained third-degree burns, over 22% of his body. He also incurred a large muscle tissue loss to the backside of his body. Randy ultimately had a below-the-knee amputation later as a result of the burns and the severe nerve damage. Since my husband's injury, it changed my entire life's focus, what I would do for a living from this point on. And I have dedicated the last years of my life working for the wounded, ill, injured, and fallen families and spouses. So one of the things that I've gotten to personally witness firsthand is how Special Operations Warrior Foundation's $2,000 grant has helped people in a time of tragic need and a time whenever there is a need for good news. There's a need for something positive to happen. And one of the best things that can happen for you is to have one less stressor in your life, and that is to worry about money. So the $2,000, not only for me and what I've personally witnessed for other families, is huge.